Hello again, Anne-Marie here. Jamie will be joining me in a moment. This is your second session where we're going to carry on learning how to relax, how to access good breathing, stop the chatter of the mind, and keep working on some of the basic postures. So last time we did relaxation, 3 types of breathing, and then we started to do some just gentle exercises. We got up and started a modified Surya Namaskar, salutation to the sun. So this time we're going to do a little bit more. We're going to start as before, establishing our breathing, because that is the bit that takes a bit longer, and to me it's one of the most important aspects of any exercise, is actually to know how to release those muscles and not create more and more tension in the body, because that's how we get injured. So we're going to start again by lying on the floor, and from there we'll be coming to sit up. And today I'm going to introduce a new breathing exercise called Anuloma Viloma, but it's actually called alternate nostril breathing. So that's what we're actually going to be doing, using the hand to breathe in through one nostril, out through the other. Helps to balance the mind, but also allows the body to calm down as well. So it's a really good technique. It can be used anytime. I've used it in a traffic jam sometimes. So the very first thing we need is to make sure we've got all our equipment. So you want your cushions, maybe 1 or 2 to sit on. If you've got the yoga blocks, or you've managed to get them, they're only cheap, well worth it, light as a feather, very useful to sit on. So you need all of that proper equipment. If you haven't got your yoga mat yet, really easy to access, and it's really worthwhile having them. And you can see I've got 2 here, but that's just because I'm teaching you and we're going to be constantly turning our directions. Alright, so I'm going to bring Jamie in now, and we're going to start our session. So make sure that you've got some layers on. Do you remember last time we talked, we said we don't want you getting cold, and we are coming into our winter months. So make sure that you are able to take something off when you need to, but keep warm if you need to as well. Okay, great. Here we go. So the very first thing we're going to do is actually come to the floor. So before we do that, it's a nice little exercise that I'd quite like you to have a go. So you're going to face the camera, nice wide feet, a bit wide, much wider, really nice wide line. Keep your knees bent, nice and soft. That's lovely. You're going to pop your hands on the ends of your knees and just let yourself sink into your shoulders. That's it. Lovely. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to bring your right shoulder over to your left. So you're going to do the opposite. So right shoulder to your left, the other way.
The shoulder to the right?
Yeah, because you're mirroring. Inhale and exhale. We did this last week sitting. Inhale and exhale. Really feel the stretch in the ribs. That's beautiful. Inhale and exhale. Fabulous. That's great. And just shake yourselves out. Just shake your legs out, shake your shoulders, and just feel that you're ready to let go a little bit more. That's fantastic. Thank you. So coming down onto the floor, Jamie. If you remember what we did last week, everybody, we stretched our legs out with our toes pointing, because we were going to allow ourselves with real thought towards the floor. So I'm going to hold Jamie's feet for him. I just want you to imagine someone's doing this for you. So bringing your legs together, and I'm going to hold the legs down, but ideally you're going to point your toes like this. That's great. So inhale and raise the arms up to shoulder height, just there. And then as you exhale, you're going to tuck your chin under, tuck your tailbone under. Now if you look at your chest, you're really going to go down much slower and with a lot more care. That's great. Now guys, if you're quite tall, make sure that you are actually with the head on your mat. So just come down, because your head's off the mat. And just come down. So next time you can see where your heels are. If your heels are at the end of the mat and you've got your head on the mat, then you know that's how you measure your mat out next time. So when you sit up, make sure your heels are towards the end of the mat. All right, so we're going to separate our feet almost mat width apart. Now what I'd like you to do today, which we didn't do last week, is to just lift your head and make sure you're actually lying straight. So lift your heads, because sometimes we think we're lying straight, but we're actually off at an angle, and that's because one side of our body might be tighter than the other, and we end up sort of a little bit out of sync. So this is really useful tip. I'm lying back down to the floor. Okay, so Jamie's got a jumper on today because we've got to keep thinking about keeping warm when we're relaxing, and then as we start moving we're going to get warmer. So taking the hands away from the body, make sure that the palms are turned up towards the sky. That's lovely. I'm just going to make sure that Jamie's shoulders are relaxed today. So if they're sticking up slightly in the air, just draw those shoulders down by pulling one shoulder blade and then the other down the body until you feel that they are nice and relaxed. That's great. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to gently close our eyes, everybody. And we're going to begin to scan the body with our inside eyes. Now our inside eyes just means that we're using our imagination and we're beginning to scan our body to find any bits of tension. So as we were saying last week, those areas are very typically back of the neck and face, the hips, the ankles, and also the ribs. If you relax the ribs, we discovered last time, that we are able to breathe a little bit easier. I want you to take a nice slow in-breath through the nose. Inhale. And a nice big sigh, everybody. It's like all of the tension of the day literally leave with that breath. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Begin to bring your awareness to your body by just watching, searching for any pockets of tension. If you know you have tension in the shoulders, the back of the neck, then take a long, slow inhale. And as you exhale, ask the muscles to relax. You can do this any part of the body. You might have tension in the ankles. If so, just breathe into the ankles. And as you breathe out, ask the muscles to relax. And while you're scanning your own body, letting go of tension that you know exists in your own body, be very conscious of the floor supporting you. Yoga is about earthing, and we know from so many theories that the idea of earthing is also about feeling that we're more in control. We think we live in a house, don't we? We think we live in a flat or a room or a caravan or a tent. But actually we live in our heads. So our heads go with us wherever we are. So what we're doing through these sessions is taking control of the thoughts that control us. And we're doing that by attaching the breath to every thought. So as we watch our breath, we're also controlling and watching the mind. because the mind has become the master. It should actually be a tool. So the philosophy and science of yoga helps us deal with a mind that has become renegade, that is dictating how we think and how we feel. So by simply doing this exercise of lying on the floor, grounding ourselves, attaching our mind to the breath, learning how to breathe correctly, we are taking control of our lives on every level. It takes practice, but it doesn't take long to feel the effects of it. So just now, just watch the pattern of your own breathing. Notice if you're breathing in, holding the breath maybe before you breathe out. Is it regular? Is it irregular? Is there a rhythm and pace? Just notice how you're breathing. Going to now set a rhythm to that breathing. So we're going to inhale for 3 counts, hold for 1 and take 4 counts to exhale. We take longer to exhale because it actually is harder to exhale. And if we don't exhale completely, we're unable to breathe in fully. A bit like a bottle. If it's half empty, then it's always just half of everything. We can't completely fill it up if we haven't completely emptied it. We're only half filling it. So it's a bit like that with the lungs. So we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to inhale 1, 2, 3 and hold. Exhale down 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to also place our hands on our lower belly. So we're going to do our abdominal breathing. So placing your hands on your lower abdomen, remember how important it was that your elbows were in the correct position. Because if the elbows are in the right position, then the hands are going to be in the right position as well. They should just be sat on your lower abdomen. And you should just be able to feel the tummy rising and your hands coming up as well as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you're going to let the hands just lower because the belly is empty. So to do this, we're going to breathe through the nose. We're going to follow it past the chest and down into lower abdomen and actually see the breath. And to help us fill the belly, we're going to keep that idea of the balloon. So last week we said let's think about a colour for that balloon. We're going to do the same again. So imagine a balloon in the belly that's going to fill with your breath, and if you give it a colour, it's going to become more real. So here we go. We're going to very slowly breathe in through the nose. Inhale, 2, 3, let the belly rise. And exhale for 4, and as you empty, 2, 3, 4, the belly lowers. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, and hold. Exhale down, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, let the belly rise, and exhale down for 4, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, and hold. Exhale down, 2, 3, 4. Just make sure your tummy is really rising. You could just feel the hands lifting as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, they're going to lower. Now we're going to add something to the mix here. We're going to add our Ujjayi breathing, which we remembered last session was a dynamic type of breath, but it helps slow down the exhalation and empty our lungs completely. So if you feel comfortable with your abdominal breathing now, you might like to just place your hands back down by the side of your mat. Now, if you're still establishing the abdominal breathing, just feel I still need some more time, just leave your hands there. So for us, all of us, we're going to take a nice slow deep breath in through the nose. Inhale, 2, 3. We're going to hold and then apply the little valve, the epiglottis, as we breathe out. So that's that little valve in the throat here as you breathe out. So we're going to breathe in through the nose. Slightly apply that little half valve as you breathe out. And it makes that really lovely sibilant sound. You can hear it and you can feel it. Keep going, breathing in. And breathing out, and as you breathe out, just feel all the tension of the body melting away. Imagine it like a mist just melting away, and imagine yourself melting as well. Keep a nice steady breath. If the mind starts to wander, just keep bringing it back to watching that breath. The mind is controlled by the breath, and the breath is reacting depending on the mind. So when you control your breath, you do control how the mind feels. But if we are not conscious of our breathing, then the mind takes over, it creates havoc, and then our breathing also becomes erratic. They work together, they can't really be separated, the mind and the breath, which is wonderful because we know that we control the mind. We can do this by controlling our breath. I think that's very exciting. And pretty simple, as well as incredibly profound. Just be conscious that your adrenaline levels in your body are now starting to calm down. By lying flat on the floor like this, the adrenals begin to relax. You're starting to find some equanimity and equilibrium. Just very, very gently now begin to bring the awareness back to the body. And you're going to do this by ever so gently moving your toes and your fingers and just rolling your head from side to side. That's lovely. And now we're going to start to transition from lying to sitting. But we want to wake up the body, so just keeping the legs straight for now, bring them together. Now if you had your knees bent, then just extend them if you can. Okay, so synchronicity of breath and movement, and this is where it begins. So as we take a deep, long, slow inhale, we're going to raise the arms up to the sky only. Inhale. And then exhale, lower the arms back behind you. Feel the ribs lifting and opening. Good. Inhale, stretch the heels away. So pull the toes towards your nose. Stretch the arms. Really feel the body stretching. Mouth and eyes wide open, everybody. Stick those tongues out. Come on, mouth really open. Don't forget your jaws are joint. Squeeze your buttocks. See if you can lift them off the floor. You're going to need to dig your heels in and your upper body. Might only come up a little bit, but really squeeze those buttocks and relax. Close your eyes. Scan the body again. Are you tense in the shoulders? Are you tense around the ankles? What about the elbows? What about the hips? Are your legs rolling open? You took quite a long time to relax, but it's amazing how quickly you can take to tense up again. So you need to keep just checking yourselves. Give yourself a really deep stretch again, really deep stretch. Big sigh, big breath. Big sigh as you relax. Lovely. Okay, so inhale, raise the arms to the sky. You're going to start bringing your knees in. And I want you to hold on to the fronts of your knees. One knee and then the other. Keep exhaling as you bring your forehead to the knee. So you're squeezing the breath out of the body, warming up the spine. Inhale, lower your back to the floor, feet to the mat. Now guys, remember, if you've got high blood pressure, well not high blood pressure, if you've got normal blood pressure, you're going to roll onto the right side. But if you've got low, or you think you might have low blood pressure, you're going to roll onto your left side. So as you roll, lift your hips slightly to push through the leg. That's it. So you stay on your mat. Just pull the knees in towards you slightly. So here we're curling up the spine. We're not going to compromise it in any way. So using your free hand, you're going to push against the floor and come up to a sitting position. So, hello everybody again. Jamie is here with your Yo-Calm sessions, and we're going to continue with our breathing exercises today. So, you might need a block, you might need 2 blocks to sit on, or you might need cushions as well underneath your legs. So if you do need 2 cushions, here we go. Let's give you a couple of cushions, Jamie. So if you've got really tight hips, it's quite nice to put these just underneath. And you know, if they're not big enough, those cushions, you can get some that are bigger. What's really important here, everybody, is that you get into a comfortable sitting position. The other option is sometimes to have 3 blocks like this. 1, 2, let's get a third. So if you've got tight ankles, dodgy knees, especially if you're a sport person, this is quite a nice thing to do. 3, and then sit like that. Got a lovely straight spine. You might even want 4 blocks, but there's no stress on my knees here. My ankles feel quite relaxed. So that's another option for you. Something to think about. Okay, good. So today we're going to learn our first proper breathing exercise, if you like, which is called Anuloma Viloma in Sanskrit, but we're just going to call it alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to take up our right hand. So just do your right, because you're mirroring. When you're filming like this, you actually end up mirroring. So it's your right hand, and you're going to pull the first 2 fingers in like this. So if you actually use your other hand and pull the 2 fingers in like that, that's going to be easier to remember. Now you see where your elbow is now, that's going to stay there as you bring your thumb to your right nostril. So it's your right thumb and your right nostril. Now the other 2 fingers, when you close your nostrils, you're going to use them like that. So that thumb's going to go like this, and then you're just going to pinch just below the nostril, that little, the cartilage of the nose, you're going to grip. And then when you breathe out through the other side, you release those fingers and breathe out. Breathe in, retain the breath, and then you're going to breathe out to the other side. You won't need to look, but you will need to listen. So let's try this again. Taking up your right hand, pulling those first 2 fingers in like that. That's fabulous. And we're going to block off the right nostril with the right thumb. And then you're going to close your eyes. That's it. Keep those in. All right, everybody. So let's begin. Let's exhale strongly out through the left nostril. You're going to keep your eyes closed and don't take your elbow too high. Inhale left for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You really needed to breathe deeply. Hold your breath by pinching the nostrils with those other 2 fingers, or it might just be 1 finger that you manage, that's fine. Then we're going to exhale out through the right for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale deeply to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath. Pinch both nostrils and hold your breath. What you're doing is expanding the lung capacity, calming and soothing the mind. Exhale to the left for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, left for 4, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath. Exhale, right for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, right for 4, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath. Exhale, left for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, left deeply, 2, 3, 4. Retain your breath. Exhale, right for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, right for 4, 2, 3, 4. Retain your breath. Exhale, left for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And release your hand. Bring it back to the knee. Take a deep breath in. And just let your breath go naturally. Now, if that was a little bit challenging for you, the best advice I can give you is that those first 4 counts for breathing in are really used. So you really have to take a deep breath in for those 4 counts, because while you're holding them, the breath, you're actually having a gas change within the lungs. So the oxygen is changing to carbon dioxide. So there's less to breathe out. So if you don't take a really good strong 4 counts, you've got a bit of a struggle holding and a bit more of a struggle breathing out. So we're going to step back now and do it even easier for you. So let's try halving that particular ratio. So we're going to block the right nostril off with the right thumb again, as we did before. Make sure your fingers aren't sticking up. The hand should be down. Okay, good. So this time we're just going to go half of each of those ratios. Nice straight back, everybody. Just think about the crown of the head lifting up, and don't let your ribs collapse on your lungs. Keep those ribs lifted. That's great. Here we go. So we're just going to inhale for 2 this time. So inhale deeply for 2. 1, 2 to the left, and retain the breath. Exhale to the right for 4, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right for 2. 1, 2. Retain the breath. Exhale out to the left for 4, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left for 2. Hold the breath. And exhale out to the right for 4, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right for 2, really deeply. Retain the breath. And exhale left for 4, 2, 3, 4, and release. Taking your hand down. Give yourselves a nice deep breath in. And a nice big sigh. Okay, well, we're going to do that again, because this time we're going to do the holding for 16 and exhaling for 8. So we're going to do that again, because I think that you can probably manage it now you realise you've really got to breathe in deeply for that first 4 counts. So here we go. Blocking off the right nostril with the right thumb. Closing the eyes. Let's begin by exhaling through that left nostril first, clearing the lungs. Okay, good. Inhale deeply to the left for 4, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath. Remember to pinch both nostrils closed with the thumb and the last 2 fingers, or at least the ring finger. Exhale to the right for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale right for 4, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath. Exhale to the left for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale left for 4, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath. Exhale right for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale right for 4, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath. Exhale left for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And release the hand. Give yourselves a nice deep breath in. And then just let the breath go naturally. Before you open your eyes, I want you to just notice how you're feeling. What's happening to the mind, what's happened to the breath. And remember that this is a tool that can be used at any time when you're feeling stressed or anxious. And don't just use it then. If you use it all the time, it's a preventative, helping you not get to a crisis point. Taking a nice deep breath, you're going to raise the arms up above the head. So opening your eyes, inhale, raise the arms up. Look to your fingertips. Pull your tummy in as you exhale and fold forward. Now just take your hands to the floor. We're all going to be a bit different here. Walk yourself away if you can, stretching out through the back. Those muscles have worked quite hard in the back and they're just having a nice stretch. That's lovely. And just walk yourselves back up. Alright, so just lean back into your hands, everybody, before you stretch your legs out. Stretching your legs out, give them a good shake on the floor, nice beating. It's really good for your muscles to beat your legs on the floor. It warms them up and let's get those ankles moving as well, because you've sat there for quite a while. That's brilliant. Okay, I'm going to come and do a couple of those floor exercises with you now. So Jamie, I'm going to swap over. Even though I've been doing yoga for so long, I always use my block. I find it really good for my back. So I'm just going to carry on sitting. Now if you had your right leg on top, can you swap over so you've got your other leg? So whichever leg was on top before, you're going to swap it over. I'm going to work that back again and those ribs. So just popping your hands on the ends of your knees. I'm going to take a nice deep breath. And you're going to take your left shoulder over to your right. Really roll the shoulder like this. Inhale to come up. Exhale to the other side, rolling that shoulder forward. Now by rolling that shoulder forward, you're really stretching the back muscles, the rib muscles, and the shoulder muscles as well. Inhale back to center once again, inhaling. Exhaling, taking the left over to the right. It feels so good to breathe in. Exhale to the other side. And back to center. Breathing in. Twisting around to the side. Now think about where your back is centered. And when you twist, try not to lean forward at the same time. See if you can just turn from the waist, because a twist comes right from the waist. And then use your obliques, the muscles on the inside and the outside, inner and outer obliques. That's what's used to twist. The hand at the back, if I just turn around so that you can actually see what I'm doing. As I twist, I'm going to support myself here with my fingertips. And back to center. And as I exhale, I'm going to do the same to the other side. And back to center. Okay, good. And then we're ready to do our sun salutation, which we started last week. So I'm just going to take my block away. And I'm going to make sure that I've got the length of my mat like this. I'm just going to reach forward and come onto my knees. Now my hands are going to be at the front of my mat, so it's going to look a bit like this. Think about the numbers on a clock face. So they're not like that, they're spread like that. And the distance of your hands on the floor should be the same as your own shoulders. So what I don't want, for your sake, is to have them too wide because it does strain the shoulder. And you don't want them too narrow either. You want them to just literally be the width of your own shoulders. And they're going to come about 2 inches from the front of the mat. And the fingers are spread. Think about that middle finger pointing straight ahead. So what you don't want is this. If your index finger's pointing straight ahead, you've got a slight twist in your wrist. And over a long period of that time, that can affect you. So make sure that middle finger's lining up with that shoulder. Okay, here we go. So everything we're doing today with the sun salutation is going to be synchronized with either an in or out breath. And there's only one place where we retain the breath, and that's in that plank pose. All right, so remember, don't have your knees too close to your hands. Walk your knees away till you feel your back's nice and long, and we're going to do the cow and the cat. So I'm going to start with the cow, where the tailbone and chin go up. So here we go. Inhale. As you exhale, push really firmly down. Tuck your chin in. Tuck your tailbone under. Really push down till you feel your back's really opening up. Inhale, tailbone and chin up. Keep those arms straight. Exhale, press down, really tuck that tailbone under, chin to chest. Inhale, back to neutral. You're going to tuck your toes under and very slowly press back through those legs. Now your hands do all the work here. Now if you're the kind of person who slips, it's really worth getting some liquid chalk or climbing chalk to put on your mat. And really press back to open up those shoulders. That's lovely. And then we're going to walk through our feet. Now I want you to go right into your toes if you can. That's lovely. These get so neglected, especially if we wear shoes all the time for our sports or walking and running. We need to get them working beautifully. And press back. Okay, from here we're going to come down onto our knees. Sitting back, we're going to lean into a lunge and then press up into a nice long squat. So your back's nice and long. I don't want to see any forward bends here. It's so bad for you when you've been sat. We want to keep that back lovely and safe and strong. Now swinging the arms backwards and forwards. This is nice and loose. Deep breathing, everybody. That's great. Last time. You're going to spread your fingertips, palms forward, and squeeze those buttocks forward. You're just literally waking up the body. And exhale into prayer position. Okay, good. Are we ready? So we're going to start our sun salutation now. So standing at the front of your mat, about 2 inches from the front. Remember, this is your North Pole. That's your South Pole. We're always coming back to North. This is a modified version, so we're going to work through the weeks into the intermediate version. But for now, this is a bit easier and softer on the knees and the back. So, feet together if it's comfortable. Otherwise, take your feet apart. It's very important you do what's right for you. Okay, here we go. So, inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, reach both arms forward, keeping the palm forward, squeeze the buttocks, and as you lower, bend the knees. If your fingertips can touch, that's great, otherwise just pop them here. Inhale, right knee back, knee down, chest lifted. Hold your breath as you step back into a plank pose. Now really squeeze those buttocks. Exhale your knees, but not your hips. So stick your bottom out. Reach forward and fold those elbows in. Using your feet, push forward, come up to where it's comfortable. So if it's only here, that's fine. Then go back through your knees to press back into down dog. Lower your knees, step forward, right leg. Exhale, inhale, and stop. Other side this time. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, chest lifted. Hold your breath as you step back into a plank pose. Really squeeze the buttocks and arms. Exhale your knees, but not your hips. So here you're going to push forward, folding those elbows. Using your feet, push forward, come up to where it's comfortable. That's not comfortable for me, but it might be comfortable for you. And press back through the knees. Lower the knees to the floor, step forward, left leg. Exhale, keeping the knees soft. Inhale, reach back and down. Okay, we're going to up it a little bit this time. And when we come to that back bend, we're going to try and come up a bit higher, because actually that really hurts my back when I stay so low, because it's not allowing my hips to get involved, and I kind of need to get them involved a bit. So let's just go up a little bit with this. Are we ready? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg down, knee and chest. Hold the breath as you step back into a plank. Exhale to the floor. Inhale. Now here, I'm really going to push through my arms, but my hips are coming off the floor, and that makes it easier. Tucking your toes under, see if you can keep your legs straight as you press back. If you can't, always use the knees. Now here you might want to lower your knees, otherwise step forward with your right leg. Exhale, forward fold, keeping the knees soft if you need to. Inhale, reach up and back. Now this time we're just going to go straight forward. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, chest lifted. Hold your breath as you step back into a plank. Really squeeze those buttocks and thighs. Exhale, knees. Now here, reach forward as you fold your elbows in. Using your feet, push forward. Now see if you can come up. Bring your hips off the floor. It's much easier. Tuck your toes under. Press back down dog. Inhale, left leg forward. If you need to drop to your knees anytime, just do it. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, your heart rate's gone up. Brilliant. Okay, so you're going to come to the floor. Stretching your legs out. Remember, we sort of said our heels were going to go towards the end of the mat. Pointing those toes. Exhale, lower really slowly. Looking to your chest. And you're going to come back into relaxation before we come back to some more standing poses. And just let everything go. Scan the body for any tension again, and also notice your breathing. So tummy's rising as you breathe in, lowering as you breathe out. Use your ujjayi breath to really control that out breath. The more it's controlled, the more you're going to be able to expel any stale air. Okay, everybody, we're just going to bring our legs together. And we're just going to do some strengthening exercises before we do. Jamie does a couple of inversions, upside down things, to help release and de-stress the heart and bring oxygen to the brain. So we're just going to keep the palms up by the side of the body and pull the shoulders down and tuck the chin right in. We're going to inhale our right leg in a moment. We're going to push the heel right up towards the ceiling. You can close your eyes once you know what you're doing. So first of all, let's do this together, and you can watch me at the same time, obviously. Inhale, raise your right leg, pushing the heel up towards the ceiling. And exhale down, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, left leg, push the heel away, 1, 2, 3, hold. You're going to exhale down, 4, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to put your hands underneath the lowest part of your bottom and the highest part of your thighs. And the palms are going to be down, going to look like this. So your hands are turning towards each other like this. Your elbows are slightly outside the body, and this is going to keep your pelvis tilted to do our double leg raises. So keep your chin tucked in. Anyone with lower back problems, you just need to repeat the single leg raises again. So inhale, both legs up, 2, 3, and hold. And exhale down for 4, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale up, 2, 3, 4. If you're doing single leg raises, this will now be your left leg. And exhale down, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And just take your hands away. Okay, inhale, raise your right leg up. Now you're going to bend the knee, place your fingers over the knee, and as you exhale, you're going to stick your chin out, trying to touch the knee. Inhale, lower the head, raise the leg, and lower, 2, 3, 4. Other side. Inhale, left leg up, bend the knee. Exhale, stick your chin right out, trying to touch the knee. Inhale, lower the back and raise the leg at the same time. And exhale down, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do the same thing again, but we're going to keep the legs straight this time. These are all strengthening tummy muscles and your back, and we need really good extensions through the backs of our legs for our inversion as well. So inhaling, right leg up. Now you're going to hold the legs. So for some of you it might be behind the thigh, some around the calf, and some of us around the ankle. As you exhale, bring the forehead to the knee. Inhale, lower the head, and slowly exhale, lowering the leg. 2, 3, 4. Other side. Inhale, left leg up. Now hold either behind the thigh or the calf or the ankle. Exhale, forehead to the knee. Inhale, lower the back and slowly lower the leg. 2, 3, 4. Fabulous. Okay, good. Just shake your hips out and then just bring the arms together. Keeping the legs as they are, you're going to take the whole body, if you can, over to your right side to really stretch the back and the hips. This is such a nice exercise. Same on the other side, all the way. And back to centre. Alright, so we're going to get Jamie here now to do your first shoulder stand. But we're also going to give you another option. So anyone who's got high blood pressure, any problems with their necks, any eye problems, teeth problems, anything, a bad headache, you're not going to do the shoulder stand. But what you're going to do is put your legs up against the wall. So for those of you, if you know it's you, you're going to get your bottom as close to the wall as possible. Keeping on your mat. That's great. So you can either have your legs going straight up, or you can have the soles of the feet like this, or you can have them open to the side, which is my personal favourite. And then your arms can go wherever they feel comfortable. Alright, so if that's you, if you're a wallflower, you can do any one of those variations for a little while Jamie shows you how to do the shoulder stand. Alright, lovely. Here we go. So he's going to come down to the floor. So if you bring your feet a little bit off your mat. Yeah, tuck yourselves in, guys. Very good. So if you've got t-shirts on or jumpers, you don't want them going over your face. So just tuck yourselves in. So coming down to the floor, stretch your legs out. So if you bring your feet about just off your mat, slightly, that's great. And we're going to lower as usual with some real discipline. So just taking your arms out. What are you doing here? Arms. Pointing your toes, you see See how strict you have to be? And lower yourselves down vertebrae by vertebrae. Always be so careful with your own back. Show yourself as much respect as possible. Alright darling, so do you want to come down the mat a little bit more? Because what you're going to do is be taking your legs behind you, so do make sure you've got enough room behind you. So now, coming into shoulder stand for some people is easy and they love it. Other people find it very difficult. Now my rule for coming up into shoulder stand is I don't care how you do it. Rock and roll, fling your legs up, anything that helps you get up. That's more important than anything. So Jamie, what do you do? Rock and roll? What do you do? Rock and roll. Here we go. Let's have a look and see what he does. Okay, support your back. That's it. So he's not rock and rolling, it's coming up, but you can rock and roll. Now for some of you, you could use the wall, so I will show you that. While he's in that position, I'm going to show you how you can use the wall. You're going to get your bottom as close as you can to the wall. Not too close. You want it about 6 inches away, your bottom. Have your feet up the wall, and then push against the wall to lift your hips. Support your hips, and then just walk your feet a little bit higher. That is gorgeous, that is. So if that's you, you can get into any one of these positions. Back on the floor, legs up the wall, supported like this, where I am holding still, like Jamie is, but I've got my feet on the wall. Or you can do it the way Jamie's doing it. So it's really important that you do what's right for your back. Now while you're in this position, whichever one you're in, let me just explain what's happening to you physiologically. What's happening is the blood flow is moving from your legs down towards your heart and your brain. And what happens with our feet is, don't point them, they should be completely relaxed, guys. Relaxed ankles, feet, relaxed buttocks, relaxed thighs. The work is all in those arms. And you want to try and close your eyes when you know what you're doing, and then just allow the body to do the work. So what's happening here is the heart's getting a bit of a rest. Because the heart is where it is, quite high up the body, it actually has to work quite hard to get the blood up to it. So by tipping upside down, we're allowing the legs to get clear of any stale blood and cells. So that's moving down, but the heart is having a little bit of a rest, and the blood flow is moving towards it. And it's also then feeding a lot of oxygenated blood to the brain. Now this stimulates all of the endocrine system, and that will include your thyroid, which sits there in your throat. That's all about metabolic rate, temperature of the body, and moods. So if you have any of those issues, this is perfect. Whether you've got overactive thyroid or underactive thyroid, it doesn't matter. But also if you suffer from, a little bit of sadness and depression, this can be really helpful because it's stimulating that particular gland as well as all the other glands in the body. So closing your eyes, you're just going to breathe in. Try breathing into your belly as before, and then you're going to breathe out. Ideally, once you're practiced at this, 2 minutes minimum holding an inversion, because the body needs that much time for the blood to go up and down and back again. So let's take a nice deep breath in. I'm going to exhale our right leg behind us. Now don't force it to the floor. So if your leg doesn't go to the floor, don't make it happen. Inhale up. Exhale, left leg down. Inhale up. And then you're going to try and take both legs down. Now again, this is not a place to force yourself into anything. So if you can't go all the way down, I suggest you bend your knees, bring your heels back towards your buttocks, and then cross your ankles. And then you can rest in an inverted position without the stress on your back and your neck. And keep breathing into your belly, keep breathing into your back as well. You've got your ribs are protecting your lungs in your back as well. I think we forget how much of our lungs are not just at the front, they're actually at the back. Okay, good. So just stretching your legs out behind you just a little bit. Pop your hands on the floor. Now you're going to use your hands like a brake as you come down. So you've really got to do this slowly. So you've got to use a lot of strength in your arms. So begin to lower yourselves towards the floor. You take your time. You've got to use your tummy muscles here. Use those arms as much as you can. And once your lower back comes to the floor, just stay there for a moment, and then you're going to open your knees and your feet. So take your feet to the outside edge of your mat, keeping your knees up, so don't turn your feet out, keep them nice and straight. Imagine your feet travelling in the same direction as your mat. Okay, you're going to take a nice deep breath, everybody. Inhale and lift your hips, really squeeze, use those legs, really push right up as high as you can onto those shoulders, and keep breathing. Clasp your hands behind your back and see if you can stretch those arms out. That's great. Now what you're doing here is working your thoracic spine, opening those ribs to breathe deeply, but you're also strengthening your hamstrings. Can you see that muscle in that femoris bicep, it's called? It's like the bicep on your arm, but you get it underneath your thigh. That's part of the hamstring family, and you're giving it a really nice strengthening exercise. That's lovely. And we're going to lower to the floor, so just release your hands. Lower yourself really, really slowly to the floor. That's great. And just stretch your legs out. And you're just going to clasp behind your head now, so lacing your fingers together behind your head, holding up the back of your head, sort of between your neck and your head. Keep your legs together. Again, take a deep breath. And as you exhale, you're going to bring the elbows together, lift the head and point your nose towards your toes, giving the back of that neck a really nice stretch. That's your counter pose. And then you're going to lower yourself to the floor really, really slowly. That's lovely. And we're going to come into our deep relaxation. So, before we do that, we're just going to make sure we're on the mat carefully and properly. And we're just going to give ourselves a really nice twist on the floor. Just make sure we've got enough room. So Jamie, how about putting your head this end? Or even that end if you want. Because I'll just want them to see how you can twist on the floor. So if you bring the head to here, they may not. Right, so they won't quite see your head. If you go a little bit further towards it, yeah, but as close as you can, because you're going to keep your knees up. Just take your knees up and get your bottom closer to the wall. Alright, so guys, the reason I've got Jamie turned this way is so that you see what we're going to do, but I want you to carry on lying on your mat. So don't go up against the wall like Jamie is. I just want you to have a look and see what we're going to do. So you're going to pull your knees in towards you. That's it, not too much. Keep your hands to the side of your body, so shoulder height. Take your arms out to the side, shoulder height, not too high. And then your palms down, shoulder height, arms, shoulder height. Take a deep breath in. Exhaling, going to turn to your right. So take your hips to the right, but not your head. Hips to the right, just turn to the floor and take your head to the opposite direction. So you're doing a really nice twist in the body. We're just going to hold there. Now if your legs are uncomfortable, put your arm around your legs. So take your arm and put the air, that's it. And we're just going to breathe. If you've got any uncomfortability in the shoulder, Jamie's going to bend his arm and place it on his belly. No, the other arm, darling. The one that could be overstretching your shoulder. So you're doing a really nice twist. Otherwise keep your arm out. But if you feel any uncomfortability in that shoulder, you're just going to put your hand on your hip. That's lovely. Okay, inhale back to centre. Both legs, arms out to the side. Exhale, twist to the other side now, and make sure you turn your head in the opposite direction to your legs. Now if you need to hold your legs to stop them sort of moving about, once you're there you can close your eyes and just breathe. And again, if you've got a shoulder that feels like it's being overstretched, you can just bend it and place it on your belly. Use your breath, and as you breathe in, and then breathe out, just feel the back releasing tension. Twists are so good for you if you can manage them even a little bit. Wonderful. Inhale back to center. Just holding onto your knees. Exhale, forehead to the knee. Inhale, lower your back. And then you're going to stretch your legs out along your mat. So Jamie's going to turn around again so that he's the same as you. Okay, so we're coming into relaxation, everybody, now. So remember, if you need to put a jumper on, if you need to have a blanket, then you need to go and get that. Remember that your temperature will naturally drop when you're in any relaxation. So it's incredibly important that you continue to stay warm after your practice. Always cover your feet, make sure. And it's always worth popping socks on, you know, because you don't need your socks when you're practicing, but you can pop your socks on when you're ready for your relaxation. So we're going to scan our body for any tension. We'll have done some exercises that have challenged our body today. So just register where those areas might be. Backs of the legs, lower back. Just gently close your eyes. And just be very conscious of the earth supporting you. Conscious of the idea of grounding. Our yoga practice is about getting ourselves out of our heads and into the body. It's our heads that create havoc, our thoughts that create havoc. So if for an hour every session you're able to switch off completely from everything that goes on around you in your life and able to just let go of all the rubbish that you've collected over the week, then how wonderful is that? You know what they say, health is wealth. If you've got tension in your face, you know that tiny little smile on your lips immediately relaxes the muscles of your face. Just make sure you feeling like your shoulders are relaxed, and if there's somewhere around your ears, just draw your shoulder blades down the spine until you feel nice and comfortable. Feet should be comfortably apart, legs, just let everything roll open from the central midline of the body, crown of the head and the point between the heels. Think about that spine of the book and just let it fold open. Just feel it fluttering open, all those pages, and just let go. Connect to your breath, make sure your jaw's not tight. You know, if it is tight, just open it really wide. That's one joint in the body that we can forget that we need to stretch, the jawbone. Take a nice deep breath in, so I'm going to breathe in. And a nice big sigh. You can do that any old time, those sighs, anywhere, anytime, and they will really help center you. My toes and feet are relaxed. My toes and feet are completely relaxed. My ankles and calves are relaxed. My ankles and calves are completely relaxed. My knees and thighs are relaxed. My knees and thighs are completely relaxed. My hips and lower back are relaxed. My hips and lower back are completely relaxed. My middle and upper back are relaxed. My middle and upper back are completely relaxed. My internal organs, heart and lungs are relaxed. My internal organs, heart and lungs are completely relaxed. My shoulders and arms are relaxed. My shoulders and arms are completely relaxed. My hands and fingers are relaxed. My hands and fingers are completely relaxed. My neck and throat are relaxed. My neck and throat are completely relaxed. My chin and jaw are relaxed. My chin and jaw are completely relaxed. My mouth and tongue are relaxed. My mouth and tongue are completely relaxed. My nose, cheeks and ears are relaxed. My nose, cheeks and ears are completely relaxed. My eyes and forehead are relaxed. My eyes and forehead are completely relaxed. My head and scalp are relaxed. My head and scalp are completely relaxed. My mind and my body are relaxed. My mind and my body are completely relaxed. My mind and my body are completely relaxed. I'm at peace, peace, peace. Now you can stay here for as long as you're able, as long as you need, as long as you want. But when you do come out of this practice, please be mindful, take your time, keep those eyes closed while you wake up. And give yourselves a good stretch, deep breath. And remember to roll over onto either the right side for normal blood pressure, left for low, and remember to keep warm after practice and drink plenty of water to help the body continue to detox. Have a wonderful few days, wonderful day, keep positive, and we'll see you on the next session.
Message. It's set.
Good session!
I'll do that one. Just and then. Yeah. Gotta get that. Good set. Yeah.
Oh, we should do that, do we?
See you next week.
See you next week. Or next session even.
See you next session.